Lesson 12, Section 6, President Madison's Dilemma, Protecting Sailors and Settlers. President James Madison took office in 1809. He tried a new approach to protecting Americans at sea by offering France and Great Britain a deal. If you agree to cease your attacks on American ships, the United States will stop trading with your enemy. To cease means to stop doing something. Napoleon promptly agreed to Madison's offer. At the same time, Napoleon's navy continued seizing American ships headed for British ports. Madison, who desperately wanted to believe Napoleon's false promise, cut off all trade with Great Britain. Meanwhile, the British continued seizing ships and impressing American sailors. Madison saw only one way to force Great Britain to respect American rights. He began to think about abandoning George Washington's policy of isolationism and going to war with Great Britain. New Englanders and Federalists generally opposed going to war. Merchants in New England knew that war would mean a blockade of their ports by the British Navy and preferred to take their chances with the troubles at sea. A blockade is a closing off of an area to keep people or supplies from going in or out. Many people in the South and to the West, however, supported going to war. Like all Americans, they resented Great Britain's policy of impressing U.S. sailors, and they also accused the British of stirring up trouble among American Indians in the states and territories to the Northwest. Trouble with the Indians was growing as settlers moved into the Ohio and Mississippi valleys and pushed Indians off their lands. Two Shawnee Indians, a chief named Tecumseh and his brother the Prophet, tried to fight back by uniting Indians along the Mississippi River into one great Indian nation. On November 7, 1811, a militia force led by Indiana Governor William Henry Harrison fought against Shawnee warriors at Tippecanoe Creek. Although Harrison defeated the Indian forces, after the battle, Harrison's men discovered that the Indians were armed with British guns. Americans were outraged. Several young congressmen from the South and West, including Henry Clay of Kentucky and John C. Calhoun of South Carolina, were so eager for war with Great Britain that they were nicknamed war hawks. They argued that to make the northwestern frontier safe for settlers, the United States needed to drive the British out of Canada. Once that was done, Canada could be added to the United States. Losses at sea, national pride, and a desire to make the frontier safe for settlement all contributed to the enthusiasm for war. But Madison still hesitated. Was the nation strong enough to launch the arrows of war? Or should Madison hold tightly to the olive branch of peace?